talk about Ernie. It's a tough thing. Ernie Grunfeld, been GM of the Wizards for 16 seasons, and you, of course, have been here for 3 seasons. Talk about your experiences with him and the organization's decision to move on.
Well, it's definitely a tough day. Ernie's a good man. I've known him for a long time. He was my general manager when I played for the Knicks. So we have a really good relationship. Decisions are always tough to make. I've been in a bunch of them as a player and as a coach. And Ted had to make a tough decision. We all wish Ernie well. He's, like I said, he was great with me. He was great to work with. It's never easy, but when you have a tough season like we've had, a lot of times these things happen. That's just part of the business that we all love, and it's the part of the business that is the tough part of the business. But Ernie was great with me. I have I'm going to miss him, but I definitely, like we talked yesterday, Ernie and I had a great conversation. We're no longer working together, but we're going to be friends for life. So that's the great part about this business. You have relationships and you keep them for life.
Yeah, talk about some of that. I mean, first of all, it's a weird spot because those of us that have been in the media that have gotten to meet him and interview him stuff, no, he is a good guy. Like I think he's almost universally liked. Everyone likes him. But the problem is the results just weren't there for whatever reason. Just all of the different pieces and the variety of things that happened just didn't work out. So these things do happen. What's the dynamic like, though, inside the organization? We could all see this coming, right? Ted has been hinting at this the last few weeks as it became obvious we weren't going to be able to turn the corner here, meet their goals, get to the playoffs, etc. Had the dynamic changed within the building? Was like Ernie walking on eggshells? Was he not as visible as often? Was he not talking to you as much? Like, what's that dynamic like when it looks like pretty much everybody knows what's going to happen?
Yeah, you know what? I had no clue. Ernie, I don't think Ernie had any clue that this would happen. We know we had a tough season, and there's a lot of reasons why. But it's the bottom line. It's disappointing. We all want to be in the playoffs, and we're not there. Myself included. I feel disappointed that I let a lot of people down, including Ernie. But I knew something was different yesterday. Because Ernie's always at practice. He's there every day. We talk every day. He's always there. Mm-hmm. And I'm on the court. I look up. I don't see him in his office ready to come down. So I knew something was different, but still didn't even cross my mind. And then after practice, I do the media, and everything was, talking about tonight's game against Chicago. And then I get informed that Ted is on his way and he wants to talk to me, that he relieved Ernie of his duties. So it was tough. It was definitely, it's emotional. It's tough. Ernie's liked by everyone. I don't know anybody that doesn't like Ernie. People in his office that's been with him for 16 years, it's obviously has a long history, and that it's going to be tough on a lot of people. But we all understand that's part of the business, and Ted has been great to all of us, and nothing's going to change there. He's a great owner, and these are decisions that ownerships have to make, and these are the tough ones, but it's part of the business.
We're joined by Scott Brooks, head coach of the Wizards, presented by Greenberg and Betterman, specialist in personal injury law. So we don't have that much time with you, so I want to get to something. Can we at least bury the notion now? And there was this notion that the Wizards might be better without John Wall. Can we bury that notion, Coach Brooks?
Thank you. Well, I mean, people that say that, I just don't think they just I don't know what it is. It's hate. It's something that's not basketball. John is he's very good. I mean, he's elite. He's dynamic. And unfortunately, he's hurt, and he's going to be hurt for the majority of next season. But I've talked to him, and I text him, and I communicate with him. He's bound and determined to come back as good as he was. And it's going to take a lot of work. It's going to take a lot of work on everybody's part, mainly John. But, even this year, I think he played 30 games, and he wasn't healthy in those 30 games. Looking back at it, we probably should have did it earlier. But I'll give John credit. He's a warrior. He wants to play. He wanted to compete with his teammates. But we're no way, shape, or form better without John Wall. And he's going to come back, and he has a lot of work ahead of him. But he's fired up. He's embracing this challenge.
So, Scotty, there's this is going to be a big offseason because there's going to be a lot of change. We've already talked about the GM role. There's going to be a new GM. I'm just looking at the roster. I think there's only 5 guys on or under contract for next year. That's Bradley, John, Ian, John, Dwight Howard, and maybe Troy Brown. So you've got 5 guys under contract, including Jan Mahimi. So there's going to be a lot of different faces on this roster. And that doesn't include John Wall, who's not going to be available next year, like you mentioned. Can you kind of give us an idea of what the offseason is going to be like and what decisions have to be made?
Well, it's going to be a great opportunity for the next general manager to come in and shape the team. He's going to come in with a vision because we do, like you said, we have 5 players and plus a first-round pick coming up. And so it's going to be a very important summer. With John being out, we have to be very creative and not going to make an excuse that, it's going to be a tough year, but it's going to be a challenging year. But it's going to be a great opportunity for the next general manager to come in and shape the roster and with the vision that he will have. Hopefully, we can make some good moves and keep some of our key players that have had some great years with us. I mean, we made some, John's injuries changed everything this year. But it also gave us some flexibility, when we made the trade with Otto, a couple of players that are really talented and have a pretty good future in this league. And hopefully we can get a lot of guys that played well this year that have a lot of upside back with us.
Coach Brooks, a lot of the time when a new GM comes into town, they want to put a stamp on the franchise and bring in their own head coach. Is that something that's weighing on you at all, or is it just at this point you're looking at these last 4 games, let's get through the end of the season, you'll deal with that down the line?
Yeah, I mean, I get that. I've been in the league a long time, 30 years as a player coach. I understand those things happen. And I've always felt, if somebody's deserving of my job, that so be it. But I'm gonna continue to work as hard as I can. Ted has given me a great opportunity in an incredible city, and we have a job to do, and we have a challenge ahead of us. We're all disappointed. I'm more disappointed than myself. Our players are disappointed that we haven't won enough games. But that's what you have to go into the summer and be fired up going into next season. But the new general manager, he's going to have a great opportunity. But I'm looking forward to Ted's decision and moving forward with the new guy.